What's up, guys? Coming at you with a movie review today. I checked out The Outlaw King on Netflix. But before we dive into that, first, a word from our sponsor. Actually, there is no sponsor. You're welcome. So, if you've ever heard of the movie Braveheart, imagine that it were historically more accurate in its portrayal of history. And The Outlaw King is kind of, I guess, a sequel, or it kind of tells more of the story of what happened in that era of British history. Forgive me, I'm not as well versed in European and medieval conflict, but this film follows this king played by Chris Pine as he fights for the sovereignty of his realm and tries to unite his allies to fight for independence. And I will say that the combat choreography in this film, the battle scenes were very impressive, and the camera work, especially the cinematography, was awesome. There were a few very immersive single takes that were great. We need to see more of that in cinema. But with regards to the story and the characters, it's kind of one of those where it's just what characters, and maybe a moment where someone says something, it's supposed to be super dramatic and uplifting, and you're kind of, wait, who is, and when were they? I don't recall. That's kind of what the story was like. And while, as I said, it was impressive to look at with the cinematography and the battle scenes especially, since the story was mid and the characters were mid, it was a lot like StarCraft 2 in that it might look cool, but if the story's not so good and the characters are not good, then the experience is mid. So, I wouldn't really recommend this film. I would say maybe if you're bored on a rainy day and don't really got much to do, maybe check it out, or probably just skip to the action scenes. If you like Game of Thrones style battles back when that show was tolerable, then you'll like the action scenes in this film. But the story is really not that interesting. And I found this one guy who is very well versed in the historical components of medieval style combat, and he really enjoyed this film because it was more accurate than a lot of films from that era. So, like I said, if you just want to watch the action scenes or maybe see this one guy's reaction to it, I'll link his videos in the description, then that'd probably be a better utilization of your time. But for a grade, I'm going to give The Outlaw King a C-. Well, that's all I got for today. Stay tuned for more content.